like a fluffy tree, like Sebastian from Bad Advice. That's barbershop. Fucking hell.
Back.
You know what you should do? I'm Gizz Lazlo.
I'm just Ball.
And welcome to episode 21.
21.
If our podcast was a human, it could drink today.
Well, no, could drink the first season this way. What's that? 46 to 46 is 52.
What?
And plus 21.
Yeah, you lost me.
Yeah, I know. There's nothing.
Yeah, I can't count to 21. I was naked.
Oh, Jesus. Actually, it's 19.
Nah, 20 now. But welcome to another episode. Last week's episode, I got a lot of feedback and a lot of good feedback. Yeah, our guest was very happy, and
she didn't hate us one bit.
No, not like some of our other guests that we've had.
$3. Be careful.
What is that one for closures? Careful what you wish for.
Oh yeah.
But how was your week?
Which part? Uneventful-ish. Did just kind of minimal, and then fleas and mosquitoes and allergies like fucking crazy. Other than that, kind of cool. I've just sort of been cleaning and hanging out and getting the shop in order. Hopefully, there's more big jobs in the way. And then murder. I don't know. Actually, so I did sign up for YouTube Music and paid for it just to see kind of what the algorithm was like. It's pretty fucking cool, man. There's a lot of like Mexican fucking punk bands that come through. Dos Minutos, La Firma. Yeah, there's a bunch of. I'm like, oh, this is good. So that's been a lot of fun listening to music. Other than that, just kind of chilling. How you doing?
Good. Well, I mean, let's say last Thursday I recorded with Foreclosure some demo ideas that Wall and I have and Lewis, and so I kind of brought the band back together. We had a nice sit down. What band should do when there's issues.
Yeah.
And one of the things I love about our podcast and what I've gotten some feedback on is that I do actually talk about shit like that. That like everybody, if you're not in a band, you think it's all what is it, cherries and tomatoes or
cookies and rainbows,
and it's not. It's being in like a Mormon relationship. For four different people and attitudes but not that there's attitude in Foreclosure. It's just
it's separate people.
Five people that want to do five things, the same thing 5 different ways.
I thought you were going to glitch right there.
Nah, I'm trying to just get the right wording out. And then Friday, I did an interview with Naughty by Natty, a podcast out in Arizona, which she usually does 30-minute episodes, and I ended up doing like 2 hours with her. And for about 8-10 minutes, I kind of went off about something. And she asked me, do you want me to edit that out? I go, no. I want to treat this like we treat our podcast. What I said is what I said. I have, I want to apologize for anything I say because it's how I feel. I'm not going to apologize for how I feel. If I do something to offend you, I'm still not going to apologize.
I know.
I meant what I said.
That's what makes you the greatest piece of shit on the planet.
Exactly. But the greater piece of shit is the person I was talking to. And that's Johnny Martin from fucking Wormwood now. Again, I'm not holding back. This is what it's like being in a band. You think it'd be easier being in a band with one person? No.
That's hard.
It is. It's like being in a relationship because you can't blame anything on the third party or the fourth party. It's just it is what it is.
But she said, but they said no. And you said,
and the guy makes shit decisions, and the guy's fucked me over, many times by not showing up to shows and not being honest, not being truthful about the guy needs money or whatever for gas or a train, more money to get up. I've driven to San Diego to pick him up to do shows, but the decisions that guy does in life, affects me, and it shouldn't be that way. Like, keep your personal relationships yourself. I don't need to be a part of them. I don't need the cops in my house. I don't need, all this other bullshit. And it'd be one thing if he kept his mouth shut about what's going on in his personal life, but he shares it with everybody, and everybody thinks he's a fucking idiot. And now you're going to bring me into that shit, and I don't want to come off as, again, like you call me a piece of shit, but
I always take a piece of shit. You're a whole enchilada.
With Wormwood, a lot of people don't know who Johnny is until they've played with him. It's all he's been in a shit ton of bands. My reputation is, let's say, because I'm the one that books the show. I'm the one that knows the bands and the people that book these shows. So when we play, it's not like he calls them up. It's me. And I have to say, hey, I'm sorry, but we can't do the show because of blah, blah. And then that makes me look like, oh, thank you for waiting till the last minute. It's like, dude, I just found out. I think so all this reflects on me, not him. And that's what pisses me off. And that's what he doesn't get. It's like, dude, I've been in bands because I honor my obligations.
Yeah.
And as a band member, that's what you have to do. It's like going to work. If you don't show up for work and it's a no call, no show,
you're fired.
Yeah. And that guy's done that to me. And the thing that pisses me off the most about that is that in the 5 years together, anyway, and this includes my relationship, this includes my friendships. You fucked me over 3 times. I'm done with you.
Oh, I got 2 more?
Yeah.
Yes.
You got 1 more. What do you but honestly, I mean, the first time everybody fucks up. The second time, you get warning.
Yeah.
The third time, it's like, dude, I'm with you. You're judging me. Use my fucking number, and there are people that we know that I'm like that with.
Yep.
And I don't tolerate it. I don't tolerate it. With Johnny, I've given that guy at least 10 chances.
Yep.
And he's fucked me over every single time. And if it was like, a relative passed away, my kids are in need of me.
Yeah.
Dude, those things, dude, definitely.
Get a free pass.
Yeah. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts, family
Take care of
first,
your business, yeah.
But this is because of a fucking woman that has embarrassed you in front of people, has done some shitty fucking things, and you're gonna choose that over what you say makes you happy, play music? I think get your shit together, and you have operating work up here. Get away from where you're living and better yourself. But he chooses to live the way he wants to. I don't fucking for it anymore. And he quit. It's not like I kicked him out or I told him to fuck off. I told him to fuck off. He said, dude, I can't deal with this shit. I quit. You're going to quit something that you love doing because of someone like that, then you deserve everything that comes to you from her. Because I wash my hands of you. You're dead to me, Johnny. I've given you so many chances, and you treated me this way, and embarrass me. That's what I don't want. I'll embarrass myself.
Oh, you're good at that.
I am, dude. But with that, now I just now. So that's how my weekend went. I had to cancel 2 shows. The Sunday show was the second in as many months. I canceled last month because we were sick. This month because of him. And last minute, and I just, I hate canceling shows. How many times do we not want to be here on a Monday?
Every time you show up.
But we're here. I get sick as fuck, but I'm still here. I've been hungover as fuck, and I've been here,
yeah, a lot.
But I love doing the show. I love being here on Mondays only, and Tuesdays through Sunday, no, unless there's booze involved. Then I'll hang out with you.
All right, so now we've taken the negativity out of the air,
and that's what I'm getting to. One of the reasons I love doing this is because every week we get to talk to somebody. I've been excited for, I think, a month now.
Oh yeah,
that we've had our next guest booked to do this, because two of my favorite bands growing up,
Yeah.
RKL and MDC.
Oh, yeah.
And this gentleman has been,
In both.
it is a part of the
Yeah.
bands at this moment. I met him, through the Corruptors, was one of the bands he was in, and met at Leo's house. We, just a dogfight. So let's get him in and start talking about the good old days and the days of now. And
There's a light bulb.
yeah, did he fall asleep already? There it is.
Yeah, I fell asleep already. Sure, gentlemen.
Dark out.
Can you hear me all right on this mic? I noticed there's another setting on here, USB mics, but I believe it's working. How are you?
Yeah,
it's going good.
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
Just get off tour?
Resting. We're going back to Europe in a couple weeks.
Jeez.
We've already played
I'm jealous, dude.
60-something shows this year. We're back for another 20-something, including Rebellion Fest. So that's going to be fun. And
you got the life, man.
I never stop sometimes. What's that?
You would be in your 40s and doing this. It's really, catching up to you. Huh?
In my 40s? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Hell yeah.
Drink
good in my 40s.
maybe.
40th year of touring, maybe.
40 years of touring. Yeah, for sure. Oh, absolutely. In fact, it's 2026. RKL's second national tour was in 86. We call that Disaster Tour. And it pretty much was a disaster tour. It was a thing. But yeah, it was 40 years ago. That's crazy. Back then, we definitely we could afford the gas. Even though we couldn't afford the gas was affordable. We got in a lot of trouble. There was arrests. There was a lot of breaking down in the van. There was a lot of Bomber was sick, and we ended up canceling the tour in New York and driving back. And we met the Melvins in El Paso, and we liked them and dragged them with us to New York and then left them there. Yeah, that was a wild time. 40 years ago. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I was a complete no future punk at the time. I figured that I wouldn't live past 30. And here I am. How are you guys doing?
Just past 30.
Just past 30?
Dude, I was talking to him earlier today, and I've had a couple conversations this week, and obviously my friends that know the show and that actually watch the show and keep up, they're like, dude, how did you get Barry on your show? And being honest with everybody, like, dude, I've known him a long time,
around,
and it's like, but RKL, dude, like, he's RKL, like, yeah, I know, like, of course, and just thinking about it the day driving here, that I was just like, fuck, man, I remember being a teenager listening to RKL, and it being one of the first bands that I was just like, I could, even if I was a little better than I am, there's no instrument that I could play.
No.
And be in that band.
No.
Like, they were that band, for me at least, going, fuck.
Yeah.
There's no way I could ever play. It's just, and then Jason's voice,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, how do you replace him? You guys replaced him, but like, it's almost, but Jason, like we were talking earlier, like when I first met Jason, he was just, I don't know, he was just bigger than life, just fun guy. He liked to drink with me, and we had some fun on stage. And
of course,
the last time I played with them was back in the early 90s at Punk Rock Bowling at the Corbin, or at the Cooler Lounge, and dude, that place was crazy.
Oh wow!
So many fights, and he had a broken leg, so he sat down after that show. But let's trying to get yours.
It's a good show.
I'm starstruck.
Well,
My buddy, I got my buddy on my show, man. I'm the best.
So you were there for the beginning of RKL then?
No, I met them in late '84 at the Vats in San Francisco, where I was staying. Then I might have actually met him before. It might have been like late '83. They were there for Christmas when they played the Mabue, and I first met them because I heard about, oh, there's some band that's in the basement of the Vats that's helping Whiteout to get high. Like, really? Is that a thing? I mean, we used to do glue, of course. That's crazy. So met those guys casually, and then they played the Mab, and they're awesome. They're one of many bands, but they definitely stood out. And then I went. I was fucking up my life in San Francisco. My parents sent me to Europe for 4 months, and I had a wild adventure there. Met all kinds of people that I'm friends with still to this day. I first met Dave Pollock from Destiny Tour Booking, and I came back from Europe, and I think I tried out for him before that, or I knew that they were looking for a bass player, but it didn't quite happen yet. And they had officially all moved to San Francisco except for Jason. So they were living in San Francisco at the time, and I was working at Secret Studios, the old Secret Studios. So I had free rehearsal time, and Bomber just started hanging out, and we were just jamming a bit. And apparently I could keep up, and I learned pretty fast. And obviously it wasn't the easiest stuff to play. But I learned their set on bass, and I got the gig. And then I started hanging out with them in Santa Barbara. Then we decided to bring Vince back. And so Bomber's just like, why don't you play a second guitar? So I, well, sure, why not? Why not? Twist my arm. So it happened that way. And then in '85, they weren't really gigging all that much, but in '85 we're still hanging out. And then they were going on tour with Dr. No. Was that '85? And so I played with this other band, Morally Bankrupt, and did my first United States tour. And they went off with Dr. No. And I remember Bomber at the time saying, we'd love to have you come along, but we literally do not have space in the band. There was like 9 people on a little Ford Econoline. So, all right, no problem. We'll sit this one out. Had a bit of a FOMO, but whatever, it's their band. And then they came back and kind of talked me into joining the band and quitting Morally Bankrupt. And I'd already been in trouble with other bands. Quitting a band, it's an uncomfortable situation, especially if you're friends. But with Morally Bankrupt, we had John Lee that was playing drums that did a European tour with MDC, and my buddy Chris Rankin on bass. And we were okay. We did one record for More Damn Records. Opened for the Dead Kennedys a bunch of times, that kind of thing. This is a San Francisco band, but we did do a national tour. But I kind of feel like the band wasn't really going anywhere. Unfortunately, Eb, the singer of the band, had AIDS. He contracted AIDS because he got in a skateboard accident, barreling down 16th Street in San Francisco, and he hit the train tracks. And this is like 1982 or something like that. And he got a blood transfusion, and he got AIDS. So around 1985, it was pretty apparent that he was pretty sick. I didn't see any future with the band, and I said, fuck it. I just literally, like, at a show, it was a shitty thing to do, and sorry guys, but I grabbed my amp and guitar and just jumped in the RKL van, and that was that. And then we just started gigging shitloads, and it was a wild, crazy time. I think RKL, being such a young band, made a big impression on the San Francisco scene. The San Francisco scene was really strong. The LA scene was strong too, but it was really violent. San Francisco scene was a little bit more inviting, and obviously it turned into the kind of the East Bay thrash scene, which we were a part of. We'd go gig in the Ruthies all the time, but all the other upcoming metal bands are playing. And I think we held our own too, because I saw that movie Murder in the Front Row. We're not in it because the movie's more about metal. But we played a bunch of those shows, and we did not get our asses kicked. I think they liked us. Great movie, by the way. It was a good time.
Yeah.
We did open for Exodus, and so
you man. But
we were never a metal band. We were never a typical hardcore band. We were definitely more nardcore, Southern California hardcore, for sure. But kind of fit in that metal world. In fact, the first review of RKL and Max Rock and Roll, Tim Yohannan wrote, There's a distinct metal. He meant to write guitar influence, but he misspelled it. It said garage. There's a distinct metal garage influence, and I choose not to hear it. So the very first review in Max Rock and Roll was a bad review, but it's still a pretty good review because it's metal garage. We invented a new genre, apparently, metal garage. I don't know, San Francisco.
Oh man,
that's what I used to.
You know, there's a lot of hippie punks there. There's a kind of peace and love and stuff. But and essentially, our band, I think positive. We're positive thinkers, of course. You know, I don't know really how we fit in and some of the stuff there, but we did. And those times in San Francisco, I will always cherish because we were so spoiled rotten. Every touring band that was anybody came through San Francisco. You know, as well as LA and then New York, maybe Chicago, maybe Seattle. But every touring band came through. And so at the Mabui and the On Broadway and the Stone and Ruthie's and everywhere else, we saw so many fucking good bands. So many bands. And it was a great period in my life for sure. It was nice being young and being really into making music and playing guitar. That's all I wanted to do, really. Still do, apparently.
How did you find your way?
What's that?
How did you find your way to guitar as an instrument? Like, how did you find your way into guitar as an instrument? Like, what was the reason?
Oh man, like
picking that up?
I think my parents actually got me guitar lessons when I was 5. But it was like learning Bob Dylan and Tom Dooley and shit like that, and Mel Bay guitar books. I learned the rudiments, and then I just kind of put it away and then touch it for a long time. And then certainly high school, marijuana, LSD, and rock and roll changed my life. And then punk rock changed my life even more. And it's been all downhill from there. So here I am.
Duh. Well, what was the first punk band that hooked you?
First punk band I ever saw or I listened to?
Now, the one that hooked you, the one that dragged you in, that moment where you were like, fuck yeah, this is it.
Pretty obviously the Ramones. I mean, it was pretty funny when RKL finally got to play with them. I mean, the Ramones, I was lucky. I had some friends. I lived in Chicago in high school at the time when punk hit. And I had my best friends at the time were a few grades ahead of me. And they owned a skate shop. So I got into skateboarding as well as punk rock at the time. My first punk show was in Chicago, and I had a friend that stole a car. He's like, we're going to do a punk show. And I was like, cool, whatever. So we got in the stolen car, went to downtown Chicago, and it was your classic punk show where they had like the new wave glasses, the pointy glasses, and everybody's all punk, fashion, English style. And they were spitting on each other, and I didn't really know what to think about it. Like, the music was all right, but like the whole spitting on each other thing, I could live without that. Luckily, it never really happened to us. I think spitting on each other was kind of over by the time RKL was gigging a lot. But at the time, it was the Ramones and the Sex Pistols, and I guess a little later was the Clash and Television. And I guess Elvis Costello and Devo for sure. Devo was the band.
Oh, yeah.
The Devo on SNL was our Beatles on Ed Sullivan moment. Because my friends were the friends that had the absent parents to let us do whatever, so we could hang out at their house on Saturday night and all party and watch Saturday Night Live. And then when Devo came on, we're like, all right, this is it, man. This is it. This changes everything. This is cool. It still is. And I sat down with Jerry Cassell at the Golden Nugget a couple years ago at Punk Rock Bowling. He's a super cool guy. We had a couple mutual friends, so I hang out with him for like half an hour. So those kind of celebrities to me are the best.
That's like, I think just about every show when we're talking to our guests, that subject comes up. That the punk rock icons that we've met, we actually become friends with because there's no ego, no
pretense.
There's no punk
Absolutely.
rock star,
Oh, absolutely.
and that's joy. Like fucking every
I was thinking about
icon and hero that I've ever had. I know now.
Well, there's certainly dicks in every scene, no matter where you are, no matter who you are, or what your anything is. There's always going to be people doing what people do. But I think I'm friends with Will from Death Angel and some of those guys. I went to see Death Angel a couple weeks ago. And they shred, San Francisco thing. I think RKL shredded them a long time ago too. But I was thinking to myself, hanging out in that scene, in the metal scene, and versus the punk scene, how everybody's so fucking nice. Everyone's so cool. And I was thinking to myself that maybe because we all play this super aggressive music, we get all our anger and our rage out in our music, that by the time you're just left with, hey man, let's just chill, it'd be cool. Have a couple of beers and that's that. Life's too short to be a dick.
Mm-hmm.
So, aggressive music calms our savage souls, perhaps.
You get it all on stage.
Yeah, you get it out all on stage. You get it all out on stage sometimes. Jason used to really get it out on stage. I don't miss that.
Really?
Yeah.
Do tell.
I remember watching him vomit all over Little Joe because Little Joe would be rocking out and get in front of him, and Jason would just go and puke all over Joe. And the show went on, and Joe would be laughing about it later. He's like, Jason puked all over me. That's punk rock, all right. And I was like, well, I didn't puke on me, but
spitting's not okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm speaking to you from the MDC house. So we got our illustrious David Dichter. He's a punk rock icon. He's one of the nicest guys in the world as well. I'll give you a little tour of our scene if you like. This is Camp Dead Cop.
Yeah, is Dave there?
Not officially on the map as Camp Dead Cop. I call it that. Camp Dead. Got a cool spot here. Built a bedroom.
Dave's not there, is he?
Studio. We got the MDC practice room. And of course, there's some RKL shit up here and there. I got my Victory heads. Yeah, I got a little endorsement from Victory Amp.
Yeah.
Fucking the Kraken. That amp just fucking kills. It weighs like 5 pounds. I built a custom case for it. The thing just blasts. I'm like bringing it all over Europe. We just played like 13 countries in Eastern Europe with MDC. And the amp weighs so light, and I'm walking up 5 steps of stairs to our sleeping place, carrying my amp and pedals in one arm and my guitar in my other. The thing rules. And we made 2 records here and had a bunch of parties. And
no,
Dave's sitting on the couch here, catching up on some fun viewing, I believe. Say hi to Dave real quick. Hey, Dave, say hi to Gizz and Paul.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Dave, what's up, buddy?
How you doing?
He's got to put his winner away.
Yeah.
All right. You're live.
You're live. Can you get some light there?
All right. How you doing, everybody?
I don't think you can hear us.
High five.
Doing good, man.
All right. See you at Rebellion, everybody. See you at
Yeah,
Rebellion.
you guys go to Rebellion Fest? Do you guys go to Rebellion Fest?
I'm not allowed to leave
Because
country.
this year is the 30th anniversary. It's the 30th anniversary, and we got
30 years already?
30 years of Rebellion, yeah. And all the classic, all the best bands play Rebellion. All the bands that barely ever tour the States, all. And they're obviously older bands. I thought I felt old to go to Rebellion. Woo, I'm pretty young. All right. And it's a great fest. And they've been really kind to us. And we do an acoustic set and an electric set.
Oh, wow.
A couple years ago, we played the Empress Ballroom, which is the big room. It was pretty funny. We played. I was stoked to play that room because it was the best room except for the Opera House. And we played there, and then Steel Pulse played right after us. Then restarts. It's a very eclectic who's who of punk rock.
Wow.
And other genres as well. Yeah, you got the Stranglers and the Buzzcocks and all the classics. And it's pretty amazing. I'm going in our backyard now.
I've always wanted to play.
I just want some fresh air.
No, dude, leave the key under the mat. I'll be right up.
Yeah, this is the rest of our zone here, Camp Dead Cops. I had a big birthday party here last weekend. And
That's right, huh?
it's a thing. You guys ever come to Portland? You guys play Portland? Who are you playing with now, Gizz? Gizz Bucket.
I played with and we
Who?
played in Portland late last year.
Okay, where'd you
Played
play?
at I can't even remember what club it was. I'm trying to remember. It was a 3-letter name. It was a real small room.
Portland's an interesting place. There's really so much going on. So many places to play. You know, I moved here 8 years ago from the Bay Area.
It was a deep.
And I got jailed up. I got all jailed up for my weed crimes. You know, I was trafficking marijuana back when the getting was good, and the numbers came down. And I kind of fell into it too. I didn't start the grow, but my buddy Joe was going to rehab, so I ended up kind of inheriting this big ass grow in the Mission, making the good money.
Oops.
First due when you're making money, basically giving it all away, and then getting narked on, and they gave me fucking 10 years in New Jersey. I didn't do that time, but it was pretty scary getting sentenced to 10 years in front of my parents and my fiance. But I made it out okay. I did 13 months behind the wall, and it was mostly full minimum. And there was a couple of months that was pretty sketchy, basically in an insane asylum in New Jersey called Craft. And then I went out, and they have a program there called ISP, Intensive Supervision Program, where essentially you hit the street, you go home, you piss in a cup twice a week, and you do community service, and you have a curfew because all the prisons in New Jersey are just loaded with low-level drug offenders. So we were eligible for that program, barely. Anything to serve most of that time, and then try to hope for parole, which is really rare because they always hit you with a lot of paroles get denied because the prison industrial complex it's a big racket, still is, with all these ICE detention centers. That's what it's all about. It's all about the money and locking people up.
For profit.
So I get back, and then my wife decided that San Francisco sucks, and she's from LA, and she was a Dodgers fan. And every time she wore blue in public, she got fucked with, and she was really sensitive, and she was just, and the prices of everything and the yuppies, and then finally, after 20 years of living in this one rent-controlled flat, they sold the place like for the second time, and the new owner finally, after trying to do anything to get us out of there, everything, and we powered through that, he finally pulled some strings and said the place is being sold again, and you can negotiate with the new owners, and they're going to probably make you an offer you can't refuse. Fuck it. If you really want this little fucking flat in the Mission, it's been my home for 20 years. And my wife was moving back to LA, and I guess I had the choice. What I'm going to do in LA? I got a lot of friends there, but I don't know if I'm ready for that. I did write a couple of screenplays when I was in prison. Hollywood anyway, with all that glitzy glamour, celebrity bullshit. And luckily at the time, Al from MDC calls, because MDC had asked me to play with them first in 19, and then again like 86 or 87, and I just wasn't available at the time. Thought about it, and I asked my wife. She's like, "Why don't you do it? Why don't you just go play music again?" Just a whirlwind of touring hell. It was a lot of fun for a couple of years until COVID shut us down. Then after that, we're doing it again. So here we are, miraculously still alive. I'll tell you that. I've seen those lights coming at us on the freeway.
Oh yeah.
We've been in some pretty weird places. And so MDC is the kind of band that somehow we can keep going and going and afford to do it. We don't make a lot of money or nothing, but the adventures are priceless.
Yeah. I've always said that about being in a touring punk band, is that we don't get paid a lot of money, but that the adventures that we have, the journeys that we have, the stories, Did those?
Yeah, we just played 13 countries in the Eastern Europe. We played Transylvania. And
Yeah.
me, of course, I grew up in monster movies. Like, we're in Pennsylvania. And then everybody comes like Dracula. Actually, they don't really. Our Hungarian drivers sound more like Count Dracula because Bela Lugosi was actually Hungarian. I mean, they have a thick kind of Eastern accent, but they don't quite talk like Count Dracula. Cool. It was beautiful. It was absolutely gorgeous there. It was springtime and it was very green. Nothing like you've seen in the movies. We went to Bran Castle, which is the castle that Bram Stoker had written the fictitious Count Dracula lived in, but Vlad the Impaler, the real, lived in a castle up the mountain that I really wanted to go to, but it was another couple hours drive. We didn't have the time. It would have been a long walk up the steps. But the whole history of that whole area is crazy, so it's definitely just superstitious. You know, I don't know. I think vampires and werewolves are probably based on truth, like a lot of other things. So we did Dracula this year, and we're going outside of Frankfurt. There is the original Frankenstein castle that Mary Shelley wrote about Dr. Frankenstein. Now, whether or not Dr. Frankenstein actually dug up bodies and built a new human out of them remains to be proven. I don't know. It's obviously fiction, the book, but I guess he was a doctor that did some weird experiments. So it's only 30 minutes outside of Frankfurt, and I've never been there. So we got to go to Frankenstein Castle the same year we go to Dracula Castle, right? You think?
Oh, yeah.
That's what's so fun about traveling.
If you could be a werewolf, would you be a werewolf or
what's that?
Well, two things. Like, I agree with you that the worst part about touring is you get to see a lot of shit from the highway. Yeah. You really sometimes don't have enough time or the money to go sightseeing. You know, when you're driving, you get to see a lot of things out the window, but you never really get to go to the place. But hey, I saw it, but I didn't go there.
Or just ask people. I'm pretty good at making times they'll just drive you around, you know, and people are proud. The way to make friends, you drink all their local schnapps. What do you guys brew here? Oh, this schnapps. We're very proud of it. Have some. And so those kind of experiences are priceless. There's so many really good bands in Portland. There's literally hundreds of bands here. But it's sad that a lot of bands just can't find the time or the money to tour. And with the cost of gas right now and plane tickets, it's insane. And it helps to have records out. The MDC's had records out for over 40 years. So we can pretty much go in a lot of the far off places of the world and somebody's heard of us.
Mm-hmm. That's the great part about being in a band that's been together for you know decades is that
it just saturates over the decades.
You know, and if somebody
even before the internet.
Yeah.
The internet helps.
What are some of the cool bands in Portland did you run across?
Well, I guess a lot of friends are in bands here. There's, you know, obviously bigger bands, Toxic Holocaust and other bands that are from here that you've probably heard of. There's Long Knife. There's My New Vices, my friend's band. There's Normies, a new band. Latter Day Skanks. Local bands here. Our friends across the street, Renegade Leathers. Portland there's a Supersonic Explosionizer. It's my buddy Justin's band. There's a thing they do every year called the Vine Bomb Fest in August, and they have 50 bands that play in the course of one day in a bunch of different bars over on Hawthorne Street. The list goes on and on. It's pretty funny too because when I first started touring with MDC back to Europe, my friends like, "Oh, you live in Portland now?" They named all these bands that live in Portland that I don't know because you can't know everybody. The Portland scene, the music scene, is way bigger in San Francisco and the Bay Area. There was just so much music. There's so many studios and there's so many dive bars and art galleries, and summertime here is great. There's a lot going on. Never a dull moment sometimes.
I have a bunch of friends in Portland, and they keep telling me, "Hey, man, up," because they're looking for drummers. Like,
we're always looking.
Can't find drummers in Portland.
Do you play drums?
Yeah, we have that same problem. In fact, we import them. We used to have Al, and Al was, hardcore original.
Like around.
Yeah, but he's 73. He suffered a stroke, and he's not playing with us anymore. Yeah, we've had to import some drummers. We have an import right now, our buddy Sage from Phoenix. And he's going out with us to Europe in a couple weeks.
Really?
Yeah, I meet drummers here and there. And like, oh, you're a drum. I know this other band. They're looking for drummers. And the drummers and bass players.
It's funny you say Phoenix because bass players, I've always been lucky to have bass players because a lot of the bands that I've been
a lot of bass players are temporarily
we
inconvenienced
remain
guitar
friends.
players.
Yeah, I was just
I
like bass
was one of them
players.
at
Like,
one point.
depends on what you mean by bass. You know,
Yeah, I played bass
the
with DRI.
desert
when I
bass
first
player
did
is, in my
and
opinion,
they kicked me out. Probably one of the best things that ever happened to me.
really.
I was a temporarily inconvenienced guitar player that played bass for a minute. Yeah, and I joined RKL on bass. I love bass. I really do. I don't know, bands and the band chemistry, it's always a thing. It's always some kind of high maintenance thing. It's pretty amazing when some bands plow through an entire career and they always get along. I bet they probably don't always get along, but there's always going to be some kind of personality conflict. But it's like being married to 4 or 5 people, another 3 or 4 people or something. But there's no sex involved. I hope.
I've said.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's fun. It gets under your nerves. It gets under your skin sometimes, on your nerves. Being in bands, it's always something. It's like sometimes when things are going bad, I'm like, why do I fucking still do this? And then I play a show where everyone's just raging. Like, okay, that's why. If you're an entertainer, if it's in your heart, and you want to be an entertainer of some sort, we're show people. We're show people, and it is like a circus too. We're circus show people. I don't know. At one point, it's just what we do. It's just kind of what we do, and I'm happy to do it. I'm like squeaking by a living playing guitar. Just being able to do that at all is a cool thing. There's so many cool bands that I wish they could tour, but they just can't afford it. They just can't do it. And then there's other bands that break big without doing anything. So I guess it's always kind of a crapshoot or a gimmick. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds.
Speaking of gimmicks,
it doesn't help.
Speaking of gimmicks, what'd you do in 1991?
The what?
So what did you do in 1991 according to the gimmick parade?
Who'd you play with in 91?
Oh, yeah, I got hired to play with Guar. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was my favorite band. Yeah. Ballsack was having a baby. That was the best time ever. Yeah, Ballsack was having a baby, and they were in San Francisco, and I'd known Dewey, the guitar player, since RKL was in Richmond in '86, and we had maintained contact through snail mail. Remember letters? Would actually write letters to your friends, your buddies, your bros. Hey, bro, how you doing, man? Long time no talk. If you get them on the phone, it'd be long distance phone calls. So we kept in touch.
Mm-hmm.
And I had heard that they needed a guitar player, at least for a tour. And Michael Dirks, who turned out to be a really good friend of mine later after I met him when I filled in for him, showed me some of the riffs, and I flew to Richmond, practiced for a week, and went on tour with him as Ballsack. I probably was not the greatest guitar player, but I certainly had a lot of fun. And I wasn't privy to any of their in-band arguments or any of their things, because bands have their stuff. In Guar was always a fight between the artists and the musicians. And I'd make friends with some of the artists. They were, oh, there's fucking musicians. I was kind of like, well, but, okay, well, and Dave Procky, I miss him every day. I really wish he was alive for all this madness that we're witnessing right now. I wish Brocky and George Carlin were here for this.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
No, that was great. And it was just a temporary gig, so just a hired gun, but I'll take it.
That's
30 shows.
Dude, I mean, how hard was it to play in that costume?
It wasn't that hard, really. The hardest part was just staying up with the boots. You can see below the mask, on the ball tech mask. Yeah, you can see right below the chin. See the star. Yep, and probably wasn't getting paid much, but they gave me a couple of guitars. Brian Kehoe was the shredder guitar player. I don't know if you know who he is. He plays with Merv, and he has his own band, the Brian Kehoe Experience, or something like that. He's a ripper, and I think he basically got the gig. He wanted money, and that was their reservation about it. And I was like, "Fuck, I don't give a fuck about money. I just want to play the guitar. I'll do it for a fucking 6-pack." That's basically what I told him. So I got the gig.
Nice.
So I told Brian later. I became friends with him later. I was like, all you got to do is tell him that you'll play for a 6-pack. You would have been in guitar. So you'll play for a 6-pack.
Gizz?
Thinking about it. So you also played with Me First in the Gimme Gimmes in '96.
Yeah. I had my other band Crosstop.
That was really
kind of
yeah.
trying different stuff. We're kind of like a party band, and we were starting to get some good gigs. We were playing Slims. We got offered a gig at the Great American Music Hall with Southern Culture on the Skids. But then Chris Shiflett, later of Foo Fighters fame, who was in the Gimme Gimmes at the time, was really egging me to get that spot. And he was in No Use for Name at the time. And they were, "Why don't you do it, man? We're going to put you on salary." It was like $500 a week. And I was like, I don't know, do I want to play John? I can't fucking stand John Denver. I hate James Taylor. I don't like any of that fucking singer-songwriter garbage that my parents listen
Amen.
to. Really. I mean, I love it. Elton John and Billy Joel. Okay, Neil Diamond. Like, Neil Diamond? What? Okay, there's a couple of good songs. Most of it was kind of like, it was just eye rolling. But at the time, I was like, all right, fuck it. Chris wants me to do it. $500 a week to go on tour and play this silly stuff. And obviously, history was made. Had I known at the time that they would have gone on to have a lucrative career, perhaps I would have taken it more seriously. But we had a tour. We did the States for a year. We even played a show with the Foo Fighters and the Offspring in Seattle one time. The game was on some weird farm side stage. We played some festival in West Virginia. Drove around, and everywhere we went, people were just like, "Where's Fat Mike? Where's Fat Mike?" And Spike is always like, "He's out golfing with your money." And so it was what it is. But we had a tour booked with the Dwarves in Europe with a nightliner. It's like, all right, looking forward to that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And then we got fired. We got violently kicked out of Fat Records. Well, not quite. We got fired from being the hired guns, and I had no idea why. I was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck did we do?" And then it took Dave Pollock from Destiny a couple years later to tell me that Grant, the guitar player from Gimme Gimmes, was going behind our back and making all these big demands with the promoters. And so we got back to the record label, so we got let go. Like, fuck. And like another moment where my life got fucked because of somebody else's shenanigans. Get tired of that. It was fun, but I don't know. That's not top of my resume.
No.
I would just learned the other day. I didn't know this, that you played with Shiza Manili too, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Shiza Manili. They're the shit. They're I don't know. I guess you could say they're kind of
love those guys.
Germany's answer to RKL with a couple of expats, Sam and Mikey. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. They don't make any money.
Yeah,
not like money's a thing. We did a tour a couple years ago with this German band called Rikers, and it was like 14 shows and a nightliner. So I got to do another like bus tour. Not getting paid, but we could sell some merch. Didn't sell much merch, but drank and ate for free every night. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, they're a ripping band. They're another band that should be in a better spot than they are. and they have a lot of really great records. A lot of people don't know them in the States.
I agree.
But yeah, they rule.
I, obviously, the only reason I know them is because I've gotten to tour Europe a bunch of times, and
Cool.
every time at least a couple of shows, they opened up for the band that I was in, and what I loved about them is that they're a German band with an American singer,
Right.
and I got to do that with a band in Britain. There was an opening band back in the early 90s called Camel Boy, and then in the early 2000s they called me up and they were like, "Hey man, we need a singer. Would you do a record with us?" So I went out to Bremen and did a record and a bunch of touring with these guys, and it was cool being in a German band as an American singer, but being known as an American drummer. So it was
right.
it was kind of like that Dave Grohl type of thing. They were like, "Oh, he's the singer for a band," and Shiza Manella, what a great name, Shiza Manelli.
Yeah, doesn't suck.
But I've gotten to see him here, and it's weird now that I think about it. That's probably how Ref got to know them, and that's why Party Force goes over there now, and they tour with.
They're going over there months, I think. Sam's 50th. Yeah, we're playing the Owl where Sam used to live. Did you ever play the Owl in Frankfurt? I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Everybody plays the Owl. That place is actually RKL's very first show in Germany in '88 was the Owl. And so they're one of the oldest, longest running squats in Germany. The German music scene is it's so vast, it's so huge, and so many different levels, from small to large, to festivals, to theaters, to clubs, and anything in between.
Mm-hmm. The German punk rock scene is just so loyal, like if they love you, they love you forever. They don't like they do the research. They'll know more about your career than you do. Yeah.
I read these German punk rock nerds. They go deep into my catalog, things I long since forgot about. They're like, "Oh right, yeah, I forgot about that." I like making records, but then sometimes I just don't really look back at it until much later. Once you make a record, you're kind of sick of hearing it.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
You're not vain at all.
I have a couple of drinks by myself in my own studio, and I'll put one of my records on.
I just jerk off.
All night I'll just jerk off to my own music,
it's terrifying. Fuck
yeah,
you ever seen a fucking Little Dick?
Well, also I'm my own worst critic, so I'm just I'll listen to stuff, and I'll think to myself, "Oh, we could have done this, could have done that. That should have been mixed like this, should have been like that." So going back and revisiting it, it's like, oh, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah, I'm lucky that I don't have any albums like that. I do have certain songs on albums like that where I'll listen.
Yeah,
I'll put the CD up. Oh shit, here goes that song. Can I handle it today? Depends on how much I drank. Then it's like, nah, I'm gonna get mad when I listen to the song, so I skip.
Oh.
Well, you remember making records before Pro Tools, of course. Now it's kind of like I love Pro Tools.
Yeah.
I did.
But it's an amazing tool. But it's a great way to cheat. So I find myself cheating a lot, whereas I miss just making a record organically. And so we're kind of plotting a new MDC record. We're talking about it right now. And because the last record was just a covers record that we did for Cleopatra Records. They gave us $12,000 to regurgitate some old fucking songs. It is what it is. And so we'll make a new MDC, and I want to try to make it classic, but I don't want to just hodgepodge it together with a mismatch of people that come in and do it. I want to just get our core members and just practice the shit out of new songs and record it like it's supposed to be recorded. So we had a hard time on that last Originals record because it was during COVID and everybody was absent. And I really wanted to do a record with MDC. So we kind of pieced it together piece by piece. and I think it's a good record, but it definitely lacks the I don't know what's the proper word, the humanity, the human element. You know, when people are absent, if not all the way across the country or across town or anywhere. COVID was a pretty hard time for most of us, but so I'd be excited about making a new record that's a little bit more organic. Still plenty of things to complain about. That's the beauty of punk rock.
Like record behind a board.
In fact, there's more things to bitch about. We were talking about the other night at our show. We played Blackwater. MDC played Blackwater. It's a really cool club in Portland called Blackwater. It's run by one of the guys from Lawn Knife, and they have like the best vegan menu in town, and they have a record store, a lot of metal in the record store, and they have a club and a bar. Just that talking about how we just gotta make a record organically, and like the old days. We're probably obviously gonna do Pro Tools and still cheat, but try to do it as simplistic as ever, because sometimes less is more. And I don't know, apparently some people still do all analog. I think that's possible. I don't know if I necessarily want to, but the sound is pretty fantastic of those old records.
Yeah. I know those people.
But we were also talking about how there's so much more things to bitch about. Like everything that MDC used to talk about way back in the day is even worse. Everything's accelerated. You know, we're quickly slipping into this fascist theocracy that just is mind blowing. How we're even allow it. The billionaires are stealing all the money and all the water, and they're going to let everybody die if we don't do something about it. That's on their agenda. They're actually doing it.
Well,
so.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Half the country's paying for it.
You can fight it, talk about it, or just run away. I kind of wish I had an escape plan. You know, like the good old days, I was going to buy some property in Northern California and at least have some kind of a sanctuary, but that didn't happen. I don't know. My friends in Europe, why don't you just move to Europe? You can teach English. You live here. And so, you know, I love Europe, and the food is so much better over there. At the end of that last tour, I was feeling great. We're also walking a lot and practicing or playing music and carrying gear. But I'm still here. This is my home. I all the reasons do I still want to fight to exist in this country? I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on here. People funny. It's funny in Europe because people actually just kind of feel sorry for us. Like, oh, you poor little Americans, you're stuck with this Trump and these fascist Elon Musk and all these people that are ruining everything. You have flock cameras everywhere, and you are being surveilled. And your economy is in the shitter. All the food there, water is poison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm here. Whatever.
I'll stop you when you're wrong.
It's because of the Mexicans, though. It's got to be.
They're like, well, it's great for punk rock.
Oh, wait.
Everything collapsing around us is great for punk rock. And we're not going to be able to play shows if we're all underwater. But, well, we can try. Maybe that's an escape plan. Just get yourself a really good boat. Let's get a fucking boat.
That's my fucking.
But the cool thing about, like you were saying, is, you know, having the advantage of, you know, that I've lived in Germany a couple of times. I've toured over there many times. I have a lot of friends over there. So it's like my second home. And then I got family in Mexico. Like, I've already been given that, like, hey, if shit goes down, you know, do you have this? Sometimes like, well, either Germany or Mexico, you know, that's where I'm going. You know,
absolutely.
You know, like,
yeah. For me, you know, I'm friends with the guys from DOA. They're just like, you know, shit really goes down. Go stay with, you know, Patty and Mikey in their city, or hang out with Joey Shithead. You know, it's right over the border. I could probably sneak over the border if I have to. I prefer Europe.
Not a belly
right there.
Up there.
I don't know. You know, they're locking up people just for protesting now, just for your First Amendment rights. And I wonder. I mean, I know I have an FBI file. I know that for a fact. I did apply to see it once, and they gave me all this fucking weird red tape to get to it. And obviously, you know, MDC is not so silent. So they know who we are.
Dave's real.
Yeah, there we are. and I forget about it sometimes. I was on the plane with Dave some months ago, and I completely forgot I was wearing a roommate shirt, Sidewalk Slam. We have a jam room in the back. They have a jam room in the front of the house where Dave was watching TV. And the shirt said something like "fuck all the cops" or "fuck the police" or something like that. Fuck all the cops. And I was going through TSA, and we were on standby too. So I was talking to all the people behind the counter and stuff with the shirt. And then a couple hours later, Dave's like, you got that shirt that says like "fuck the cops." Walking around the airport, it was kind of small, so I didn't really notice it. I was like, "Oh yeah." Then on the plane, the steward is like, "Can I see your shirt?" I was like, "Yeah." It says "fuck the cops." She's like, "I agree." So the stewardess was impressed.
Yeah, all cops are bottoms.
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to deal with the New Jersey police. You know Guar's other band, X Cops?
Yeah.
Yeah, X Cops is great, but they have a song called
Oh,
Welcome to New Jersey. Welcome to New Jersey. So real Jersey cops are horrible. Well, the cops, that's
when you're playing, when you're playing shows, and especially like a band like MDC, do you get anybody that comes up to you and starts fucking with you because of the band's beliefs?
That's
what they think the band stands for?
Not necessarily me. Dave does. Yeah, and he's actually there was a African American woman that gave him a lot of shit about the Klan cop logo, and he's just trying, I'm on your side. She didn't get it, probably didn't understand punk rock. Yeah, there's a little bit of that. There's been a couple of just comedic moments, like 2018 when all that Proud Boy shit was going on. We played in Charlottesville. We had a show booked in Charlottesville not long after that woman got run over, and so they moved the show to like Raleigh or something like that. And it was this torrential rainstorm, but there was talk that the Proud Boys were going to come and fuck us up. And they had hired a rent-a-cop. One rent-a-cop, he was a black. So they there's one black rent-a-cop who's going to keep us safe from the Proud Boys. But they're really a bunch of pussies. They didn't show up. They tried marching in Portland, and like you're gonna have every 10 Proud Boys, you're gonna have 100 Antifa fucking them up, as they very well should. All this stuff's kind of like died down a bit. I mean, Portland was pretty active during Black Lives Matter. It's a proud moment for us when everyone's singing "Born to Die," no Trump, no KKK, no Fascist USA. That song has become like an international anthem.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the first time I met Dave.
Right. And things are kind of tapered off. I think everyone just kind of so overwhelmed with all the bullshit. No one really knows what to think anymore. And the Trump fascist regime crumbling, they're obviously going to try to destroy everything. Probably destroy everything he can before he dies. But when he dies, we're going to have the biggest party of our life.
Yeah.
We're already gearing up for it. I got my playlist. No matter where I am,
I know, man.
I know how I'm going to be rocking. We were going to dance naked in the streets. We were going to fucking party like no one's ever partied before.
Hands across America. Oh man, I can't wait for that fucker to die. I hope it hurts.
Yeah, well, the FBI is listening to this phone call right now to this podcast. So.
Dude, I fucking my first arrest was inciting a riot. You fucking whale, jealous.
Yeah, the three of us couldn't travel together.
No, fuck no.
One of us will get flagged.
Yeah, but you've been flagged.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. So what's coming up next?
Yeah, that was my question.
What's that?
So what's coming up next?
Next, on the 14th, we're flying to Amsterdam, then continuing on in Germany, and then up to Scandinavia, then England, and Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. and then perhaps go on a little vacation in Portugal. And then after that, I'm not quite sure. My fall is kind of free. MDC gets offers here and there. We're talking about Florida and Puerto Rico and South America, perhaps, and in Japan next spring. Then RKL, I believe, is going to be back working next year. I believe it's going to be the rumor I've heard is that we're going to hopefully be gigging a lot more next year. And we have a movie coming out, a full-length feature documentary, and a book that I've been working on really hard. That's taken years and years. And so we'll see. Those guys are so busy with Lagwagon and Abe's band Dead Pioneers is kind of blown up. So it's been hard to schedule any RKLing. But I think we're going to do it again. It's been a hell of a lot of fun.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
What you got, British Troll?
Yeah, in '95 you did that. What was it, like a documentary? The Still Failing
The what?
for Epitaph. Like you did a lot of directing for that. Still Failing.
Well, what about it? Oh, the DVD.
That was back in '95. That would, yeah.
Still flailing.
Okay, yes, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did that DVD. I mean, I originally did that on VHS, old school type with tapes, edited on tape, on an Avid. But yeah, it came out later on DVD.
I didn't know that. You directed a lot of
videos?
videos?
I dabbled in video work and video production for years. My video skills aren't quite what they used to be, really. I just haven't had a job doing any video editing recently. And I don't even, I have the patience to sit there for hours, but it requires a lot of time and patience to do a good edit. But another movie is done by this company called Satellite Pictures, in Southern California, and they've been working on it for 6 years. If anybody out there has any interesting RKL something or other that they want to submit to the movie, then by all means get a hold of us. The sizzle reel looks pretty good. And there's some other surprises that I won't disclose as of yet concerning the movie. I think it's going to be pretty cool. Hopefully we can tour playing live and showing the movie. I think that'd be kind of fun.
That'd be amazing.
Well, keep in touch with us with that shit, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No. You've done all
stories.
Of it, man.
Okay. The low battery.
One last question is. Yeah. One last question was: how did you feel like Josh Brolin talking about RKL on like TV and like giving like a whole new kind of rise to the band? How did you feel about that? Was that cool as shit or what?
Yeah. Well, it was pretty funny because my phone started blowing up. It was also funny because I was actually, when I was still stuck behind the wall in New Jersey, being all locked up, I had this book of just quotes of famous people or just facts. And one of them was Josh Brolin, the actor from No Country for Old Men, used to be in a band called Rich Kids on LSD. So I showed my fellow cellmates there. And then, yeah, I did an interview on random TV shows, Jimmy Kimmel and Rogan and stuff. My phone started blowing up. Is that true? I met him at a party one time in Montecito with Jason. They grew up together. So I met him once, but I didn't really know who he was at the time. I guess Goonies and Thrasher was out, but I don't know if I'd ever seen those movies at the time. And he turned into a great actor and a cool guy. Well, that was one. I think he might be a little bit involved in the RKL movies. So that's one thing. I'll plant that seed for the rumor. That's all I can tell you right now. But I don't know. He never was officially in the band. I don't think. There's some pretty funny stories. I mean, they jammed or something. There's a really good story that I love telling that I will tell from my good buddy JB, who grew up with Josh and Jason, where they were going over to the Brolin household, and James Brolin was married to Barbara Streisand. And as they're walking up to the door, Josh's like, "So, don't mind the lion that's in the kitchen." And they're like, "What? Yeah, just don't pay attention to the lion that's in the kitchen." They're like, "Get the fuck out of here! What are you talking about, a lion in the kitchen? Fuck off!" And so James Brolin answers the door. He's like, "Hey boys, come on in. Help yourself, whatever you want in the kitchen. Just watch out for the lion." And then Barbara Streisand's sitting on the couch wearing a bathrobe. She's like, "Hi boys, how you doing? Welcome. Don't pay no attention to the lion. He's getting his cage clean." And sure enough, there was a lion just hanging out in the kitchen. Old school Hollywood shit, I guess. Like that movie Roar. Have you ever seen that movie Roar with Melanie Griffith? Oh my God.
Wow.
Tippi Hedren. That movie's crazy. So that's a Josh story. There's probably all kinds of Josh stories. But yeah, he was a Cedo rat with all the other Cedo rats.
Well, we should
that's what he always says in those interviews, is that like most of them are dead because drugs got him. And so luckily for him, he escaped.
Yeah.
Luckily, a lot of us have, man.
Well, I usually ask
I don't know
where to get merch, but I think pretty much everybody knows.
Could he have saved Jason from the throes of addiction? At that one point, it gets to a certain point when somebody's been on heroin for so long, there's really like nothing you can do for them.
No.
They really have to want to get clean.
Once you reach that,
Yeah. I'm lucky I escaped that one. I've never been addictive kind of person. I mean, I have my vices.
Lucky to have you.
I'm not going to ruin my life over it.
No. That's one of the proud things that I love about you, man. Is that, here we are, years and years and years later, and you're still fucking touring. To me, that's the ultimate gift that we have as musicians, is that opportunity to tour and just travel, and because that's the best part about
everywhere. We play like
I say that every fucking week.
MDC plays like backyard parties, we play house parties, we play clubs, we play bars, we play, we play some theaters, we play festivals, anything in between, all the above and below, we play it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm the same way. It sucks when you're in a band and you have stipulations like, we'll play these shows, but I'm not playing backyard.
And we do
parties.
an acoustic set at Rebellion too.
Some backyard parties are some of the.
So that's pretty fun. The acoustic, that acoustic room that they have upstairs at Rebellion. Yeah, it's kind of designed like a castle. It's a cool place.
I've heard about it.
So we play some acoustic stuff too. It's a cool place. And I just keep going. That's all. I'm like a shark. If you don't keep swimming, you'll die.
Yeah. To me, being a member of the UK subs, I look at Charlie Harper and go, as long as Charlie Harper's doing it, I'm going to do it.
Charlie's amazing. Yeah. Well, he's like
that man just with 80, got to be like 85 now, 84.
85.
And still
I remember he was like actually 3 years younger than Tom. And I'm no spring chicken. Good for him. Yeah, I was going a couple years ago, Coxbar. Yeah. It was like their 50th anniversary show. And that was in, like 24. They must have started in 74.
Yeah.
People don't realize how old it
really somebody
is.
said, I think punk rock will keep you alive if it doesn't kill you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my, every day I wake up, man. Now it's like, fuck, man, I just want to keep playing. I just want to keep playing and keep writing and keep doing what we do, because it not only helps us, but it helps other people out too. The fans that we have and the friends that we have.
Is he showing us his dresses?
I'm gonna plug in my phone. Plugging my stuff in.
I thought we could see your dress collection.
His heels.
Yeah. Sorry about that. See if this works. I got this new funny little thingy here. Lavalier mic.
It's pee time.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Is it working?
There we go. Can you still hear the mic?
Seems all right.
No, it doesn't work. I don't know. If the phone dies, then we had a good one. We always have to have our charging devices.
It's not up pretty soon, anyways. We're up to that.
Every time I pack to go on a trip, I got my things and my
You know,
my medicine and my chargers, most of all, because Lord knows, stay in touch. All because remember when we used to tour before there was, maps and phones.
You got your pills with you, honey?
We had paper maps, maps and phones. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Thomas got.
Yeah. Remember that scene in Dumb and Dumber where they drive like the opposite direction for like 10 hours? RKL did that one time. We totally like read the map upside down that one time and drove just miles out of our way until we realized we were going the wrong direction.
I have a Rebecca that does that occasionally.
I remember a tour that but back in the day when they would fax you your maps and this is where you're going, and then on the original there would be a highlight, but on yours would be like a gray line and it covered up the highway and it covered up the highway number, and you're just like,
who is it?
Like, what is this, man? And it's all obviously,
it's all like analog.
But oh Jesus Christ, the shit that the Thomas guys that you had to buy to go on tour.
Oh my god.
But I wouldn't trade those days for fucking nothing.
Fuck no.
Like,
absolutely.
I just I've been on the road for fucking 40 years. I'm not gonna give up now.
You gave up a long time ago.
Shit. Fuck.
Well, we're getting down to that time.
Yeah.
I want to do shout out. Thanks for Dave for popping in. Barry, it has been an absolute pleasure. I bet there's a lot more stories, and I can't wait for the movie and the book. I am totally in.
And I'll see you soon up on the road.
Absolutely.
Next time I'm in Portland, I'll definitely keep in touch.
They hit me up, man.
Sure. And next time you're here in LA, just let me know and we'll hook her up.
Absolutely. Were you down there
with
School and Subhumans and Naked Red? That was fun.
Yeah, dude. I know Kirsten. I know where she lives.
Dude, that's not kind of creepy.
That show with
No.
School and Subhumans at that place downtown was a blast. That was a great show. All right, gents. It was nice meeting you, Paul. And talk to you one of these days.
Yeah, all right, brother. You take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Keep it rough. Keep it real.
Absolutely.
All right, brother.
Take care, man.
See you guys. Bye.
All right. Well, another down.
That was really fun. Like,
dude, I'm telling you,
I
man.
mean, again, we keep like winding up with like every fourth of the show is like royalty.
Yeah, dude, gore. Yeah.
I mean, if you had kids, and like none of us are gonna have kids, we're not allowed. But yeah, I was a giant ball sack on stage once.
What are you talking about? You're a big ball sack now, man.
Exactly. Like, to be able to say that is pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Again, thanks to Dave for popping in. That guy's a fucking class act.
Yeah. I just, again, like, the messages we get, sometimes about, how did you get that person? How did you get that person?
It's my looks and your nose, my wit. It's not your looks.
Because of, like we were talking about, we stay on the road. That's, if he wouldn't have been on the road with fucking the Corruptors, then, we wouldn't have, met for the first time or again. I can't remember if I met him at one of those RKL shows in the past, but I know him. He's been a friend of mine for well over a decade, and that's how we keep getting our guests. It's not because we're like
not famous.
Texting people and going, hey bro, can you get your buddy?
Right.
It's I get, like, we were just looking at our list of who we have and who we have coming in. It's like these are
organic
my friends,
conversations.
man.
I just had one yesterday, like organic conversations with people, and you start asking questions, and all of a sudden you realize, A, you've got mutual friends, and B, these people are like from here and there, like, holy shit, fuck. And then it's like, I mean, would you go watch the show and let us know if you want to be on? And that organic happening, that is really a punk rock thing. It's like, if you're not in a fight with somebody, you're pretty much smiling at them saying hi. and everybody's cordial and everybody's fucking cool. And I do believe there's a lot of that about getting it out,
Mhm.
like a loose pit on the stage or whatever it is.
And you know, again, like what our show's about is it's just documenting, you know, somebody's journey. You know, it's not about the band. It's not, you know, like obviously there's stories about the bands, but you know,
Sure.
the how.
It's
you
the
know,
journey.
The
It is
why.
that journey between what made you pick up that thing and do that stuff, and how did you say hi and why?
Yeah.
And where are you now? It's like, holy shit, still touring with MDC and fucking RKL.
Yeah.
And Flagwagon. And like, it's like, son of a bitch.
Gore,
Gore, yeah, fucking Gore.
dude. Like, that's just, I don't know.
I feel lucky. I feel a little bit lucky on that one. Like, holy shit, this is kind of cool.
That's why I do. That's what we do this every fucking Monday, because
I know.
it is fucking cool, man. To have a podcast where, and it's not like your normal podcast where, you know, oh, somebody contacted us because they have a new record, they have a tour coming up, and that's what they want to. That's what they want to talk about.
We do the work and nobody likes us.
Yeah. You know, you know, we've had people call me and say, "Hey, my friends, man, they have a new record coming out. Can you get them in on this day?" No,
we don't do that.
No, we're booked. We're booked. Like I do all the booking. It's not like we have people working for us. I do all these bookings every. You know, I actually in January, the month that we have off, is when I pretty much do 6 to 8 months of booking ahead. Now we have, you know, we have like 6 weeks that I need to book for the end of the year. Maybe. The last show, if it happens, I'm not gonna, you know, give it away, but if the last show, you know, our 46th episode this year, if it happens, it's gonna be a fucking cool one.
It's gonna be fucking amazing.
It's something that's been, you know, talked about. People have asked me about, and you know, I think it's time to get everybody in a room and do something. Unfortunately, next week our guests that we had can't do it. So I do have 2 people in mind. Eaton, I don't, maybe they've confirmed already, but I don't have, you know,
let's let it be a surprise.
Next. So next week will be a surprise. You guys will know if you're on our social media tomorrow. But other than that, I mean,
and if you're not, then fuck you.
You know, thanks for fucking watching episode
21.
21, which, you know, what a great 21.
Fucking great number.
You know, fucking very, thank you for, you know, for joining us, and, you know, thanks for, you know, the friendship that we had. And
have.
I said have. I burped when I said have.
No, you didn't burp. That was Mexican. There's just fucking salsa coming out.
I made some salsa. I forgot to bring you some.
Fucking dick.
I forgot to
It makes good salsa.
So, all right. So until next week, you know what you should do?
Not this.
Cunts.
See you guys.